So let's talk about how we can duplicate a blog post. This is useful for a number of reasons, including that you can create a template for the different types of content that you regularly create. So if we take a look at my blog here, we've got these little project stories, we have tips posts like these two over here, and then I have some of these longer pieces like this one here, which is about internal site search. And so the two that I would imagine creating a post template for are the project stories and then the tips. So as an example, I'm going to create a post template for the project stories. So I'm just going to click on the post. And I'm going to click Edit. And then I'm going to click Settings. And you'll get your pop-up like you normally would for editing a blog post. But instead of editing this post, what we're going to do is there's this newly introduced button down here. We're going to call it Duplicate. We're going to click Duplicate. And now we have a duplicated post. So it says Copy Up. So I'm going to name this. I'm going to follow the format I had. And then I'm going to say Project Story Template. So I always preface when I have a new project, I always preface it with Now Live. And this is basically the format that I follow. If we look at this, there's always an introductory piece. There's usually a styled photo right below that introductory piece. And then there's some narrative, usually with a home page screenshot, the brand story down here. So we've got a mood board and the color palette. And then there's a little bit of something personal and something about that frankly adds a little bit of a sales pitch about web design and what I do. And then there's a link to the actual project website. You'll also see down here there's some code. This is also a newsletter block. And this is a special newsletter form that comes from MailMunch. And MailMunch is just a really nifty newsletter. All it does is allow you to create forms. And it's something that I like to use because I can create different forms that are basically function in different ways than some of my other forms. So that's why that's there. And so this is basically the format of every blog post I write. I'm going to, in my template, I'm also going to go over to Options, and I'm going to put, I'm going to leave this here as an example, but I am going to change it to also have a note that says Update as a reminder for myself. And then I'm going to remove the thumbnail image because I want to make sure that I remember to add a customized thumbnail image. And then I'm going to leave this URL here so that I know what my URL structure is. And then instead of hitting save and publish, what I'm going to do is just hit save. And then we hit save again. And now I have this template right here. So the next time that I want to do a project story, I'll just be able to go to this post, click Edit, go to Settings, and then duplicate it just like I did previously. And that's how you can make a template. Now, maybe you don't have a blog on your website, which you should, by the way, because it's great for SEO. But you might have an events listing, or you may have album tracks. All of those were previously not duplicatable. Now you can duplicate them. So for anything that you do on the regular, what I would do is create a template and spend a little more time than I did and make sure that you have something that you can just use over and over again so that each time you do it, everything is really set and you can have a nicely formatted, consistent visual.